What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video. In this one, pretty exciting, my boost controller did finally come in. So I got a Turbo Smart. I'm pretty sure that it's a knockoff, but oh well, I think it'll work just the same. It comes with some piping. It's supposed to be an in-cabin boost controller, but I don't want that kind of responsibility. I'm not going to leave it in the car because it's too easy to turn it up. I'll leave it in the engine bay, which is fine. So what you want to do with the boost controller is we're going to basically splice this line right here and run the T into this, and then out of the T we're going to run it into the boost controller, which I'm not really sure where I'm going to put yet. I might put it like over here on the coolant line, just route the pipe over here and leave it right here so I can turn it up and down. We're going to see where I end up putting it, but I'll show you what I got in the kit. So here's the hose right here, and here's the boost controller itself. That's our little valve on there, and this is the T. Goes in that direction. Small hole here, big hole on that side. So this coming off of the T will go to this T piece thing here, and this is where it'll vent and bleed off the pressure to trick the wastegate into thinking that we're not quite at our 7 psi spring yet. Also, since I got the car I got it smoke tested, I found out a lot of the intercooler piping's actually leaking. Like this one down here was a big source of a leak. I think like right in this corner down here, you can't see it, but the clamps, they sort of clamp it around the bead roll, and I think I have to move the clamps further to the outside so that they seal up better. It leaked here. I know it was leaking on this one and maybe on this one too, and a little bit off of this guy too. So I'm just gonna try to rework all the piping, just redo all the clamps, make sure they're all clamped really good. None of my 4-inch couplers are messed up. I could also just buy a bunch of 4-inch couplers, and I might do that to make sure we don't have any boost leaks, but for now, I think I might just try to tighten them up, get rid of those boost leaks. That should make our boost come online a little bit quicker, and yeah, also the boost controller should bring me up to like 10 psi, I'm hoping, so that should be pretty fun. This car's running great. I've done like a few, ride-alongs with some people. Had no reaction videos yet. I will try to get some soon, but the car's not exactly as fast as it's going to be yet. I still have some tuning to do and some work, but it's really getting there, and this thing's really fun. I got to get some wheels for it and some tires because this thing's spinning now, so we got to make some more traction, but all in all, really happy with it. I did get the exhaust fully hooked up underneath, so now it actually has an exhaust. It's so much quieter. It's ridiculous how quiet this car is now with this exhaust on it. I really never thought it would be this quiet, but it sounds really good, honestly. It's very tame. Like I can drive it without worrying about getting pulled over now. But I do feel like it might have robbed me of a little bit of power, so may have to swap out the muffler for some kind of turbo muffler or something. It would be cool to do like a 3-inch straight pipe setup the whole way back. But I might wait on that for a little while. As of right now, it didn't lose that much power. Maybe might have killed 20 horse. Hopefully it doesn't keep us from turning the boost up too much. But yeah, for the most part, I'm going to go ahead and fix these boost leaks, and then I'll get into the installation of the boost controller. All right, so first things first, we are going to cut our line that goes from our turbo to our wastegate. I think right about here is a good spot. All right, so we cut our vacuum line, and then we're going to go ahead and add in our T, and I'm going to use these little clamps that they supplied us with, and I'll use 2 of these, and this side will be from the turbo, and this side will go to the wastegate. So I've got our little T in there with our little clamps on each side, and I'm trying to keep this away from the exhaust. I think routing it over here is probably the best bet, and I'm now going to run a vacuum line from right here to over here, where I decided is my temporary mounting spot for the boost controller. I don't think it'll be permanent, but it's good for now. So I can run the piping from right here, our boost T, over to here, and this will run to this is the boost controller, and so this will tee off the wastegate pressure. And the way the boost controller actually works is it tricks this wastegate spring into thinking that it's still only reaching 7 psi, but actually bleeding pressure off from this vent valve right here. The top one is the vent, so depending on how much you open this changes how much of the boost pressure is actually bled off from the system in order to trick the wastegate. So you can, theoretically, they say around double what the wastegate spring is, so I could make 14 pounds with this boost controller and have it be reliable. After that, it starts to get a little weird. But yeah, so I'm going to run a vacuum line from this bottom port here over to here with a couple more clamps, and then I'm going to leave it closed, and we'll take this thing for a little test drive. I did try to fix most of the boost leaks. I moved all the clamps out, and I could tell it just sealed much better. I can't see little gaps like I used to. Should have done that from the start. There's still a bunch more that I have to get to underneath the bumper, and I do want to fix those, but I'm not sure if I'm going to pull the bumper off right now. I might do it later. But yeah, we'll see if the boost leaks help me come up under the power earlier, and then after maybe a little bit of driving, we'll give this thing a click and we'll see where it puts us at for some boost. Alright, so our install is complete. We have the line running off of the boost controller over to the T, which runs from the turbo to the wastegate with the arrow pointing towards the wastegate, and all of our clamps are on and everything, so we should be ready to take this for a test drive, see if the boost leaks help us come up into boost a little bit faster, and then after that, see if we make any more boost. If I turn this thing open, one click hopefully will be about a pound. So, you know, hopefully one click will move us to 8, another to 9, and then I'd like to run it at about 10 pounds. I'd like to see what it feels like on 10 pounds because I think that'll be pretty safe. But yeah, the tune seems pretty good. It's a little bit rich since I put the exhaust on, which means I think we might have lost a little bit of power, but that's okay. I can deal with it for now. This thing doesn't have any traction anyway. I definitely got to get some wider tires along with some wheels and some coilovers to stiffen the back up a little bit because this thing squats pretty hard when it gets into boost. You could tell all the weight lifts right off the front tires. But yeah, we'll get there. Slowly but surely, it's coming along. Alright, so we're going to do a little pull here on about 7 PSI in second gear. So hopefully this camera's not shaking too much. Seems like it's real shaky, but I just went out and turned the boost controller one click to give us a little bit more boost. The tune is pretty rich because of the exhaust. I think we lost a little bit of power up top because it's not flowing so good, but should carry out. We'll see how much boost we make just with one click of the boost controller. Maybe it's 1 pound, maybe it's 2. I'm going to try to watch the boost gauge, and we'll see what we end up making. One click to give us. We get off some of this wet ground here. Yeah. This isn't going to lend well.
We know you're running.
We'll do a little third gear. I'm going to roll on in third gear.
Hold on. Let me know what you're going to do.
Goodness.
Yeah.
All right, so
my camera's all over the fucking place here.
My God. We made probably 9 or 10 pounds there. The boost gauge was reading real close to 10. Not sure if you guys could see the gauge, but well, yeah, we made some power on that one. That's for sure. And we didn't blow it up. We didn't blow it up. Yeah, it's pretty good. The rip's pretty good. Let's I'll do another little pull here.
9 or 10 pounds of boost. Right out to the sky.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Sweet.
Yeah, so she's healthy, she's running good, 10 PSI, she loves it, so I'm pumped. This thing's definitely a bit faster. Third gear is really fun now. Third gear was a little slow before, but yeah, it feels like it really picked up some power. So I just got to tune part throttle, and I got to pull a little bit of fuel out of it up in the top end because we are losing a little bit of power because it's kind of too rich. We're hitting the mid to low 10s, so we're definitely losing power to over fueling there. So if we can lean that out a little bit to like 11.5, we're gonna pick up a little more power as well. So overall, pretty happy with it. I'm gonna keep tuning this thing, and we'll see if we can make even more power. But so far so good. This thing's ripping on 10 pounds. I knew that was gonna be a good spot for it. All right, everybody, so we got the car pulled back into the garage, and this thing is even faster on 10 PSI, obviously. Now it's really making some real jam, and I still have some extra fuel in it up top that I'm gonna pull because it's like 10.5, and we need to be at 11.5. So that whole one part right there will definitely increase our horsepower a little bit. I don't know how much, maybe 15, maybe 20, but every amount counts. Yeah, this thing is really fun in third gear now. Yeah, but it seems like everything's holding up. I did order some stuff to make a catch can because I'm sure we're making some crankcase pressure, and all I have is an open breather, so I don't want this thing to spit oil everywhere. But these rings actually seal really well, I think. When we did the pressure test with the smoke test, we tried to do the crankcase, and we couldn't even get it to come up into the intake from the rings or anything like that. So I think the crankcase is really tight in this thing, which is good and also bad. But it's good because it means we're making all the power we possibly can, but bad because you're more likely to blow it up due to boost. But I think we're totally fine. This thing's running great. Every pull, it just loves it. It loves life. No hiccups. Yeah, can't wait to get it tuned fully. Part throttle stuff needs work, but I'm gonna get working on that. I'll drive it to work tomorrow and try to clean some of that stuff up. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this boost controller setup here. The boost controller did its job, and one click of the boost controller and we made almost 10 pounds. So I think that's a great spot to leave it for right now. This thing absolutely rips on 10, so yeah, I think we're gonna leave it, get it tuned really good, and yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get bored of 10 pounds, not for a little while at least. It's definitely fun. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody, and hope to see you in the next one. Peace out.